Hello. Again, hello everyone. Welcome to another edition of Booze and Hacking. I am your host, Dark Hoodie. We are back with another TryHackMe room. This one is called Cyberlens, and beneath the title it says, "Can you exploit the Cyberlens web server and discover the hidden flags?" We have our IP address. We've started the room. There is a description here of the room. And here it says here, we believe that every pixel holds a story, so this may have something to do with pictures. And so beneath here it says, make sure to add the IP to your Etsy hosts file. I have already taken the liberty of doing so. We have 2 flags to gain, so let's go ahead and jump into this. But first, let's talk about what we're drinking today. We have here a bottle of Bacardi Gold. In Puerto Rico, they say Bacardi. And it is a very smooth rum. One of their higher end ones, I believe. And it is smooth enough to enjoy over ice by itself. Or you can go ahead and add it to any drink like rum or anything else. Make a pina colada. You cannot go wrong. This is the rum to have. It's delicious. So let's go ahead and get started. So we have our IP address, as we mentioned. We have 10.10.115.203. So let's go ahead with nmap. Let's put our tags in. Let's do SV, let's do A, let's do O, let's do T, 4, let's do all the ports, 10.10.115.203. You know what? I got a better idea. Let's make this go faster. I'm going to kill this. I am going to find my cheat sheet that I like to use and see if we can run Rust Scan, which would make this go by a lot faster. I have a cheat sheet here that I like to use, so I'm going to copy this. So it was 10.10.115.203, I believe. And let's see how fast this goes. Alright, we've got a bunch of ports open here. Rust Scan is great. It really keeps things moving. It's a good thing I didn't run common ports only, because as you see here, we've already found some ports, some very large ports, well above 1024. Okay, let's see. Let's go back and take a look at everything we found here. Alright, starting with port 80 is running, it looks like, an Apache web server, and it's a Windows one. 64-bit, it looks like. Apache 2457, Win64. Cyberlens unveiling the hidden matrix. Alright. And we have ports 135 and 139. Microsoft Windows RPC, NetBIOS, 445, Microsoft DS, 3389, again, Microsoft Terminal Services, that's good. We've got something here, definitely a Windows machine. Let's keep going down. And so the server name is Cyberlens. Port 5985, Microsoft HTTP API, 47001, again Microsoft, and a series of MSRPC ports. Here's one I'm not too familiar with. It says 61777 and it says Jetty. I'm not familiar with that, but okay. Jetty 8.y.z snapshot. Welcome to the Apache Tika 1.17 server. Okay. Not familiar with that one, but we're going to keep that in mind. And so now that we've got that, I'm going to close this out. And let's take this IP address, pump it into our browser, see what we see. Okay, so it looks like Cyberlens is a site dedicated to extracting images. And here we have a guy who kind of has my same persona. Looks like my own room. Where shadows dance amidst the digital domain and metadata reveals the secrets. Okay. Let's have a look at the source code. I like to look at that. Scrolling down, looking for any potential clues here. Nothing so far. It always pays to look at this slowly and carefully. You never know what you might come up with. Now I might consider using EXIF tool if there are pictures to be scraped. Alright, I am going to basically go under the assumption that there's nothing here to see. So it says here, Cyberlens image extractor. I saw nothing in here about this. So let's go back to our terminal going to open up another tab, and I think I'm going to use Metasploit. MSF console. And get Metasploit started. Alright. Now, if I go back here for a second, I want to go back to what I mentioned before about this Apache Tika server. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to look for any possibilities here. So, Apache Tika 1.17 server. Alright, so I'm going to search for that. Search Apache Tika 1.17. Would help if I could spell. Oh, there is an exploit here, and it ranks as excellent, which is even better. So I'm happy for that. And as it is the only one here, I'm going to go ahead and use it. So let's do use 0. Alright, it defaults to interpreter. Let's do show options. So let's see. Localhost, local port. So our port. Now we're going to use not this port, but 61777, because that's what we got. And let me check my IP address. As usual, 10.13.6.1.12. So I'm going to set our host. Is it host or hosts? Our hosts is going to be 10.10.115.203. Set our port, and that's going to be 61777. Set lhost 10.13.6.112. And even though it specifies here, set lport Alright, let's go ahead and run this. Hope this works. Half the time Metasploit tends to let me down, but let's see. Nice. Alright. I've got an interpreter shell. Beautiful. So far, so good. So, now that I've got a interpreter shell, let's see what's here. So it's definitely a Windows machine. I see exe files, DLL files. Of course, I flew all the way down. Since we're in a Windows machine and we know it's called Cyberlens, let's cd into c:\back users back Cyberlens lens back. Let's see what's on the desktop. Huh. Oh, I forgot. I have to use double while I'm in Interpreter. Okay. Sweet. All right, here's the desktop, and there is a user.txt file there. So let's go ahead and cat that. And there's my first flag. So far, so good. And there's a CVE here. We can look at that later. All right. What is the admin flag? So as we all know, say it with me, it's time to get root. So I'm going to have to background this because now I have to get privilege escalation. And since this is a Windows machine, I'm going to see if we can use WinPs, also known as Windows Privilege Escalation Awesome Scripts. So let's go ahead and background this. Let's background session 1. All right. And now we need to look for something regarding some WinPs escalation. Now, in my research, I found that there's something called exploit suggester that is in Metasploit. So I'm going to search for it. And here we go. It says here, exploit suggester. Okay, now let's activate this, shall we? So I'm going to use this. Use, and I'm going to do 0 because it is number 0, and there it is. It's in place. Let's take a look at the options here. Show options. Okay, so it says here session and show description. So if I remember correctly, we have to only just use the set command, set session, to get this to run. So I'm going to do set session 1. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and run this. So now it's running through a ton of exploits used for Windows, and it's a lot. So far we see here almost 2,500 worth. That's all right. We're going to wait this out, and hopefully we'll find something we can use to get privilege escalation on this Windows server. Getting close to the end. Huh. That first one looks great. I like that first one. Exploit Windows local always install elevated and the target is vulnerable. So it's running a check now to see what we can use. 195 exploit checks are being tried. All right, there's a whole bunch here. And we have a bunch of no's. That's good. I'm glad it's telling us. But we have some yeses. And the first one here, I like this title here, always install elevated. All right, so we're going to use number 1. So let's see. So use 1. All right. Invalid module index. Okay. I typed in something wrong. That's fine. I'm going to type it in using its full name. All right. It is now selected. Let's show the options. So we have here session, yes, session to be run on. We have more, so let's go ahead and set session 1. And let's do localhost 10.13.6.112. That's me. Well, let's do set lhost 10.13.6.112 and set lport 4444. Okay. Cross your fingers, folks. Here we go. Please work, please work, please work. Huh. It looks like I'm in. So now I'm going to do cd c:\, back, users, back, and since this is supposed to be for the administrator, let's go this and get to the desktop. Rats. Let's see where I am. All right, let's try this again. cd c:, back, oh, users, back, administrator, back, desktop. All right. Up. And we have what looks like another flag, admin.txt. So let's go ahead and cat that. And I do believe we are done. So I'm going to copy that flag and paste it into here. And we're done, folks. That worked out really well. And thank you all for attending. If you are interested in researching this Tika.117, let's have a look. How about exploit DB just for a second? and see what it says here. Apache Tika 1.17. And there's the exploit. Header command injection. This is what got us into the machine. This here's the CVE. We can read about this and see what it is. Alright. It says here, clients could send carefully crafted headers to Tika server that could be used to inject commands into the command line of the server running Tika server. Alright. So we're root. We got the flags. Thank you all for attending. If you enjoyed today's video, I would encourage you to please like and subscribe. And I hope to see you all again in the next video. Until then, hack the planet.